for praise? Amen, amen. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers here in the sanctuary and those that are watching. We will say Happy Mother's Day. We wish you a blessed and prosperous day. Amen. Amen. Our scripture will be coming from Psalms 100, and the word of our Lord reads, "Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing. Know ye that the Lord, he is God. It is he that has made us, and not we ourselves. We are his people and the sheep of his pasture. Enter into his gates with thanksgiving and into his courts with praise. Be thankful unto him and bless his name. For the Lord is good. His mercy is everlasting, and his truth endureth to all generations." I've read Psalms 100 in its entirety. May the Lord add a blessing to the reading, hearing of his most holy word. Let us go to the throne of grace. Father God, we come before you humbly, thanking you for last night's lying down and this morning's early rising. Father God, we ask you to continue to bless this land, Father God. Continue to touch, heal, and deliver us, Father God. Father God, we just say thank you on this Sunday Mother's Day, Father God. Thank you for all the mothers, all the grandmothers, all the step-in mothers, Father God, all those that aren't mothers but take the roles of the mothers, Father God, because without them, Father God, where would we be, Father God? We ask you to continue to touch each woman, Father God, whatever role they play, Father God. Continue to touch them, touch their minds, touch their hearts, Father God, that they'll continue to be an example for those coming behind them, Father God. We need you, Father God. We need your strength, Father God, that we raise up these women, Father God, that they be mighty women, Father God, Lord, that they continue to run the race that was put before them, Father God. Strengthen those, Father God, that wanted to be here today but couldn't, Father God. Touch those, Father God, that have ailments in their body, Father God. Touch them, Father God, and let them know that you're still God and you're God all along, Father God. Heal the sick, Father God. Touch the bereaved, Father God. Touch this world in a mighty way as they continue to do things the old way, Father God. Father God, that you're stretching your arms out, Father God, and waiting for us to come to you, Father God. Lay at your feet, lay at your altar, Father God, that this world right now is our altar, Father God, that you're just allowing us to come to you, Father God. Lord, allow your people to take heed of what's going on, Father God, and cry out to you, Father God, that their ways be changed, that the way that they think be changed, that their mindset be uplifted and encouraged in you, Father God, that someone through everything that's going on will want to run to you and find peace within themselves, Father God, the peace that only you can give, Father God. So I ask you to touch our pastors, Father God. Touch the first responders, Father God. Touch those that don't know you in the pardon of their sins, Father God, that they may be saved, Father God, through whatever you're doing, Father God. And we know that whatever you're doing, you do all things well, Father God. So we want to thank you, Father God. We want to bless you, Father God. We magnify you, Father God. We worship you. We honor and adore you, Lord. Because without you, we are nothing, Lord. But with you, we can do all things. Father God, so we say thank you this Mother Day Sunday morning, Father God. Thank you, Lord, for the gift of life, Father God, because you didn't have to breathe in us this morning. Lord, when we say thank you for one more day to get it right, Father God, in your eyes. So as we go through this week, Father God, not knowing what's going to happen, Father God, but we're trusting and believing in you, Father God, that you honor our steps, Lord, that you have your way in our lives, that someone, some man, woman, boy, or girl might see you in us, Lord, and want to have a relationship with you as well. In Jesus' name, in Jesus' name, in Jesus' name we pray. Amen, amen, and amen.
Bless the Lord, oh my soul, and all that is within me. Bless his holy. Come on and put your hands together and honor God this morning. God is great. God is mighty. God is powerful. God is awesome. Amen. And we're going to honor him today. Hallelujah.
We want to wish every mother, whether you are a biological mother or a stand-in mother, a very happy Mother's Day. We are glad and excited, even while adhering to our pandemic restrictions. My mom is here with me today. Amen. And I don't know about anybody else's mother. I can just talk about mine for a second. She doesn't wear a cape, but she's my Wonder Woman. She may not fly an invisible jet, but she's able to do some amazing things. And I am just grateful and honored. I'm not going to talk about it long because I will cry about my mom. But I am just amazed at what she was able to pull together down through the years, so that this big-head, light-skinned boy didn't have to go without. Amen. And for that, I'm forever grateful and can never repay you. Let me stop before I feel a tear coming. I feel a tear coming.
Ain't no harm in trying. Ain't no harm in trying.
We thank God.
You got your mama with you.
And we want to send a special prayer to those whose mothers have gone on. Amen. Who have to experience Mother's Day without your mother. But we thank God that your mother isn't lost, but she is in the arms of the Lord. Amen. And so we bless God for mothers today. And I'm going to do something I normally don't do. I normally don't preach holiday-esque messages. But today I just feel it. I woke up this morning and God gave me something different. And so we want to talk to you and teach from 1 Kings, the 17th chapter, starting with the 8th verse. And the English Standard Version reads like this. Then the word of the Lord came to him, arise and go to Zarephath, which belongs to Sidon, and dwell there. Behold, I have commanded a widow there to feed you. Yes, so he arose and went to Zarephath. And when he came to the gate of the city, behold, a widow was there gathering sticks. And he called to her and said, bring me a little water in a vessel, that I may drink. And as she was going to bring it, he called to her and said, bring me a morsel of bread in your hand. And she said, as the Lord your God lives, I have nothing baked, only a handful of flour in a jar and a little oil in a jug. And now I am gathering a couple of sticks that I may go in and prepare it for myself and my son, that we may eat it and die. And Elijah said to her, do not fear, go do as you have said, but first make me a little cake of it and bring it to me. And afterward make something for yourself and your son. For thus says the Lord, the God of Israel, the jar of flour shall not be spent, and the jug of oil shall not be empty, until the day that the Lord sends rain upon the earth. And she went and did as Elijah said, and he and her household ate for many days. The jar of flour was not spent, neither did the jug of oil become empty, according to the word of the Lord that he spoke by Elijah. Just for a moment, I want to talk to you from the thought today. Mama, thank you. Mama, thank you. As we have a look at this 17th chapter of 1 Kings, many of us have heard this account of the woman, the widow at Zarephath. We have heard the account from the point of view of the mother. We have heard the account from the point of view of the prophet. But rarely do we talk about son. And if I could imagine today, I would imagine a grateful son that is telling his mama, thank you. Much like many mothers that we know down through the years, this mother was going to do something impossible. Even with no money coming in, even with very little supplies, she was going to make one final meal. They were going to eat it and die. But watch this. She listens to the prophet and does what he says. And instead of eating a last supper, they have more than one supper because she listened to the prophet. And I can hear in my ears this son saying, Mama, thank you. Because even while we were broke, busted, and disgusted, you still were going to make a meal. But if I had to tell you thank you for anything else, I would tell you thank you for being obedient to the man and to the voice of God. Is there anybody that's watching online? Is there anybody here today that can tell God thank you that you had a mother that was listening to the voice of God? I understand that you may not have always gotten along with your mother. You may not have always liked what she had to say. You may not have liked the advice she gave, but aren't you glad that you got a mother that was in your corner that not only gave you good advice you didn't want to hear sometimes, but advice that was steeped, that was stewed, that was boiled in the voice of God. I'm not looking for any old type of advice. I'm looking for some motherly advice that comes from the voice of God. I understand that we have all of these things going on, but aren't you glad that you have somebody that can whisper in your ear and tell you what you need to know, not just what you want to hear? And I know what somebody's saying, my mama is good and gone, but watch this. Aren't those age-old wisdoms that she shared with you down through the years still ringing in your ear? And when you find yourself in a situation, you can reach back to one of those old sayings that she told you yesterday, yesteryear, and it's still good today. Mama, thank you. Because much like, I can't speak for nobody else, my mama, when they talk about black girl magic, my mama is the epitome of black girl magic, because I understand that we had 2 nickels to rub together, but watch this, the thing that we needed costed $20, but she still, somehow, some way, with faith and prayer, pulled that thing together and was able to take them 2 nickels and bring some stuff together that money said we paid us for. Y'all not gonna help it, because watch this, mothers can make some magic happen down through the years, all because they listen to the voice of God.
Amen. Amen.
That's that God math. $20 in your pocket, $500 worth of bills, and you got $800 at the end of the month. Y'all not gonna help me. That's God math.
Come on now.
This widow had made up in her mind that we gonna eat one last meal. If we going out in style.
All right.
And so she's gathering sticks near the gate of the city, and she finds herself in the presence of the prophet Elijah. And he says, bring me some water. And when she goes to get some water, he says, while you're going, bring me a morsel of food.
Yes.
She then pleads her case and shares with the prophet
Yes.
that I don't have much of nothing. All I have is a jar of flour and some oil. All I got is a little bit of flour, a little bit of oil. I'm going to cook this, and we're going to eat, and we're going to die. He says, goes on to say, well, we'll go ahead and do what you're going to do. But while you're baking, bring me the cake first. Hold up. Wait a minute. Because I can tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt, my mama ain't never put no man before me. But watch this. I had a problem right here when I was reading the text. Because mama was going to make a meal for her and her son. But the prophet says, go ahead and bake it, but bring me. Hold up. Wait a minute. I got a problem. Because my mama hungry. And I don't know this Negro. How he gonna get the cake before we get the cake? And it's the last cake we gonna have. But that's the beauty of having a mother that listens to the voice of God. She knows how to lead you even in spaces that don't look familiar. And so she bakes the cake. She leads by example and blesses the man of God first. Y'all not going to help me. And so she bakes the cake. She brings it to him. And the prophet says, watch this, don't be fearful. Don't be fearful. You're not going to run out of flour. You're not going to run out of oil. Now watch this. He doesn't say the flour won't get low. He doesn't say the jug of oil won't get low. He just says you won't run out. And aren't you glad that you serve a God that loves you enough to let you live your life, but he won't let you run out? Y'all not gonna help me. Aren't you glad that God is the source and not a resource? We can hook into him and know we'll never run out of the stuff we need. Aren't you glad that in his presence is the fullness of joy, and at his right hand there are pleasures forever? Aren't you glad that a cattle on 1,000 hills belongs to him? All the silver, all the gold, and anything that I need, he will supply my need according to his riches in glory. You may get low, but you ain't gonna run out.
Thank you, Lord.
And I need to share this with you in this pandemic season. Some of us have been low.
Yes, sir.
Whether spiritually, emotionally, literally. But watch this. You ain't ran out. You may have get to the last corner where you've been scraping and trying to get to this last piece of what you need. And watch this. Doesn't God show up every time and refill the supply? Doesn't God show up every time with a good old semi, roll the door up and tell you to get what you need off of this glory? Y'all not gonna help me today. God will. You might get low, but you ain't gonna run out.
Thank you, God.
You might get low, but you ain't gonna run out. Here he says, go ahead, do what you're gonna do. You're not gonna run out of flour. You're not gonna run out of oil. And can I share with you? Here we need to understand. Don't be anxious when you get low. It's all a matter of your perspective. See, when I get low, that just means that God has an opportunity to reveal. Y'all not gonna help me. See, if I'm pouring out, and I'm pouring out, and I'm pouring out, and I'm pouring out some more, my barrel, my jug, my jar is gonna get low. But watch this, God isn't gonna let me run out, because watch this, as long as I'm pouring, I'm making room for God to pour back. Y'all not gonna help me. And so quit hoarding the stuff that God has given to you, but pour out some more, share some more, because watch this, the more that you pour out, the more room you're making for God to reveal.
Yes, sir.
I hear you in this house.
I'm not going to do it no more. I'm tired of people taking advantage of me. Let them take advantage of you.
Preach now.
Because watch this, what they're taking advantage of, God's got something better to reveal you with.
Yes, sir.
ain't lending them no more money. They ain't pay me back. Go ahead. Go ahead and lend it. Because watch this, the Bible told us that he wants us to be the lender and not the borrower. Y'all not gonna get the head and not the tail.
The first.
Don't be mad about it. Go ahead and give it. Because if you look at it, what you've given will pale in comparison to what's been given back to you. If you sit down and write it down and count the cost. Now watch this. Just because you give out money doesn't mean you're going to get money back. Y'all not going to help me. See, sometimes you're going to give out some money and you're going to get some peace of mind. Y'all not going to help me. Sometimes you're going to give out a room in your house and you're going to get a deeper understanding of what God wants you to do in this season. Some of us are going to let somebody borrow our car. You ain't going to get a new car, but God is going to give you gas money and make sure that your car not only gets you from A to B, but A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way to Z. Quit looking at the blessing as it's supposed to be reciprocal. See, sometimes money's not going to buy you peace of mind.
Preaching.
While your child is sick, while your family is in disarray, while your household is broken, money ain't going to bring it back together. And so sometimes I may give out one type of blessing, but God, I need this type of blessing.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah. That's good. That's good.
She gave out cake and got a perpetual blessing. Woo! A perpetual blessing is a blessing that doesn't end. When it looks like it gets to the end, it refills. Help me, somebody. When it looks like it's going to run out, somewhere, somehow, it gets refilled again. Oh man, I remember, I got to get out of here. I remember as a child, I was a gift opener. So what would happen is my mama would wait till the wee hours of Christmas Eve and put presents under the tree. Because I was known to shake a gift real good. To figure out, still will, you right. Shake a gift real good. To find out if what I asked for, I got it. Now this particular time, my mama's been outsmarting me for about 32 years now. So this particular Christmas, I wanted, it was when Apple first came out with the iPod Nano. I wanted the iPod Nano. Now watch this. My mama knows me better than I know myself. She knows how much I love music. So instead of buying me the iPod Nano, she buys me the iPod with 160 gigs worth of space on it. Y'all not gonna help me. And so she buys me this large iPod. She puts it in the center of a clothing box. And then she takes socks and underwear and puts it around the periphery of the iPod and places a t-shirt on top of it. Puts the box under the tree so that when I shook it, I thought it was closed. Now watch this. My mama was nice. She let me open up one gift, Christmas Eve. Now, anybody that knows me and my family, we spend all day, all night together on these holidays. So I was praying to the Lord that the Lord would allow my hand to pick the right thing so I could charge this iPod all night, put some music on it so I could listen to it the next day, so I could be with my family all day and all night. The box I picked up, it felt like clothes, so I tossed it to the side. And in ended up picking out a movie or a gift card or something. But watch this. The next day, when I opened up the gift with my iPod in it, and it was buried in between socks, underwear, and shirts, I said, you think you slick. You think you're slick. Because watch this. The blessing that I was looking for didn't come in the box. I thought it was coming in here. And so every now and again, we've got to learn how to trust God in the process that he's going to send what we need. You may ask for one thing, but God knows what you need. I asked for a nano that was 8 gigs back then. My mama knew what I needed and got me something that I wouldn't have to delete music every other week. I'm not going to help you. Sometimes you need to learn how to pray unto God and wait for him to answer you. Don't be anxious because he hasn't failed you yet.
Amen.
Mama, thank you for listening to the voice of God, because your example has taught me how to listen to the voice of God. It shows me that it teaches us from a young age how, if we trust in the Lord with all our heart and lean not to our own understanding, in all of our ways acknowledge him, he will direct our path. Amen. It teaches us that God won't leave us nor forsake us, even until the end of the world. By Mama's example. And I know what somebody said, I had a daddy too. It ain't just day to day.
Amen.
We'll catch daddy in June. But Mama, we are live and you are distracting me. Jesus. Lost my train of thought. Clear the room. Y'all just don't know how to act. Mama, through her example, teaches her child how to trust in God, so that in moments when they have to trust in God by themselves, they're able to hold on to the teaching that Mama taught them years ago. And the beautiful thing about a mother and her child's relationship is, down through the years, you can hear her voice and tone when you're about to do something wrong. Stuff that she's already shared with you, stuff that she's already told you, stuff that she's already taught you. You can hear her voice when you go to eat those cookies before you had dinner. You can hear her voice when you're out late. You know you got to get to church in the morning. You can hear Mama's voice while you're doing something you ain't got no business doing with some people or a person you ain't got no business with. You can hear Mama's voice calling out to you in the midst of the problems of your life. But watch this. I don't want us to put Mama on a pedestal, because all Mama is doing is listening to the voice of God and sharing what the voice of God shared with her with you. And so if we can do anything in this 21st century, mamas, listen to the voice of God as it pertains to your life and your child's life. Because if you train up your child in the way that they should go, when they're old, they won't depart from it. Watch this. It don't mean that they won't stray. It don't mean that they won't have issues. It won't mean that they won't leave the church for a little while. But when they old, when time is of the essence, when it comes time for them to come back in and come back home, they'll do exactly that. I got to get out of here. Jesus had a mother, the Virgin Mary. And it is very nerve-wracking to think that Mary had to watch her son, help me somebody, be crucified before all of these people. And as Mary looks on, she has John at her side. Jesus has to do what he has to do. And sometimes the difficulty is this: when you have to watch your child do something, go through something that they got to go through in order to show the glory on the other side. Jesus gives his hands to the nails. Jesus gives his feet to the spikes. Jesus gives his side to the spear. Jesus gives his brow to the thorns. He lays his head in the lock of his shoulder and he dies. I can only imagine what Mary was going through while her son was on that old rugged cross. They take him off of that old rugged cross, lay him down in a borrowed tomb where he stays all Friday. I can see Mary's pillow stained with tears. All day Saturday, she's still mourning the loss of her boy. But early Sunday morning, there was a rocking and a rolling. And the hold that the grave had on his body could no longer hold him any longer. And aren't you glad that even though she had to cry Friday, she had to cry Saturday, that there was a joyous party Sunday when he gets up with all power in heaven and earth in his hand? Because he lives, we can face tomorrow. Because he lives, all fear is gone, because we know who holds our future, and life is worth the living. Just because our Savior lives. Mama, mothers, thank you. Thank you for all that you've done, all you're doing, and all that you will do. We want to set aside just a moment for those that are watching live that may not know the Lord and the pardon of your sin. Mother's Day is a good day to give your life to Christ. Now watch this. You can come to him like you are, but you won't leave him like you came. He wants to come into your heart. He wants to come into your mind, and he wants to walk with you through this journey that we call life. Now the Bible tells us that if we confess with our mouth the Lord Jesus and believe in our hearts that God has raised him from the dead, that we shall be saved. And so in your home right now with your fuzzy slippers on and your robe, you can look at God right now and tell God, I am a sinner in need of a Savior. I've fallen short of your glory, and I need you to come into my heart, my mind, and help me do this thing called life. I believe that you raised Jesus on the third and appointed day. And the Bible says at that moment, you are saved. Somebody may be saying, I just need to be baptized. Even in this pandemic season, I just need to be baptized. Watch this. It's a pool right behind me. It's a spigot in the back that I can turn the water on. And we can baptize you. We are willing to do that even in a pandemic season. Somebody may be saying, I just need a church home. I need a house of worshipers and believers to come alongside me and pray for me and not pray on me. Resurrection Community Church is a great church for you to join with. 2502 East 38th Street. We won't be back in corporate worship until about the end of June. Amen. But you You can send us a message. We'll get back with you. You can call the church and we will put somebody with you. We'll give you a mentor from the church. That is 317-547-5740. People are checking the voicemail every hour on the hour. And so you can become a part of this ministry. And we want to be able to walk alongside you, pray with you, and be there for you. This week, I'm done. This week, we will be with Pastor Traylor again for part 2 of dealing with anxiety on Tuesday at 6:30. You can tune in via our Facebook page. We'll be live on our Facebook page as well as Good Samaritan at 6:30. 6:30 on Wednesday. 6:30 on Wednesday. Instead of our regular Bible study, what we're going to do is we're going to post our conference call number on our Facebook page. And those that know that we have seniors that don't have Facebook, please get that number to them. We just want to do a check-in call. We want to hear your voice. We want to see how you're doing in this pandemic season. So Wednesday at 6:30, I will be on the line, and I will stay on the line until the last person leaves the line. Amen. And so we want to hear from you. We want to talk to you. Wish we could hug you. Wish we could love on you. But in this season, this is what we have to do in order to stay safe. So please, ma'am, please, sir, if you are in contact with one of our seniors, please make sure that they have the number. Please make sure that they know how to get on to the line. We want to hear from everybody and check on everybody to see how they are doing. We want to thank all that came yesterday for our first drive-through communion service right here on our parking lot. We're going to do it again the first Saturday of June. We will be right back here again at noon, from noon to 1 p.m. Serving communion the first Saturday of June. Just some housekeeping things I will share with you. When we do come back to corporate worship, our first worship service will not be in the sanctuary. Our first worship service will be on the church parking lot. Amen. And so what we're going to ask is all visitors will be able to park on the church parking lot. All members, if we can utilize the Children's Bureau parking lot and allow our visitors to park close. It's just right here, right across the street, right here. You ain't got to cross no major street, but let's park there. And then, so we are looking that possibly the third Sunday in June, depending on what the city looks like, we will corporately worship on the parking lot. Our second service, that fourth Sunday, as long as everything goes according to plan, will not be in the sanctuary. We want to take over Washington Park. We want to take over Washington Park and worship in the park. Amen. And so we need all hands on deck, moving some of our equipment to get over to the park and worshiping there. Amen. And so I think God has hit the reset button on how we do church. Universally, not just here. And so we want to get out of these four walls. We've done a great job these last few years, but we want to do even more. And so I think that we are going to do that fourth Sunday service, as long as everything goes according to plan. We are going to do that service as I think I'm going to title it Jerseys, Jeans, and Jordans. Now the funny thing is, I don't have no Jordans. So if somebody wears a size 14 that I can borrow, amen. But we want to come out. My feet are going to look like this in that shoe. No, I'm not putting that shoe on. But we want all to come out. We want you to be comfortable. We want to worship together because it's been, by that time it'll be almost 4 months since we have been together in corporate worship. And so we want to get out, enjoy enjoy the world that God has made for us. Amen. I think we've been in the house, inside walls, long enough. So we want to get out and worship outside. Amen. We have plenty of chairs. We'll set up. We'll get everything going. Lastly, this week, anybody that knows me knows that I work for IMPD, and this week it just has not been our week. Amen. This is what I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it alone. The Bible tells us this, that we can be angry.
Amen. Come on.
But sin not. We can be angry, but sin not. Watch this. Destroying our own property.
Amen. Amen.
Messing up our own neighborhoods is foolish.
Hallelujah. Come on. Come on.
I won't tell nobody not to be angry.
Come on.
That's your business. That's your right. But what I will tell you is destroying our own neighborhood,
Yes.
destroying our own testimony, destroying our own reputations is foolish.
Yes.
And it gets nothing done.
Amen. Amen.
Because all you get labeled is another angry black person.
That's right.
And dismissed the same.
Teach.
And so what we want to do, we want to not only pray for the families of those that have lost their lives this week, we want to pray. Hear me now. We want to pray for the police department too.
Amen.
We need prayer too.
Amen. Amen.
Our department is hurting as well.
Amen.
Amen. And so we want to make sure that my heart is hurt this week because my city is hurting.
Amen.
And so we want to not only pray, but we want to seek out means and ways that we can rebuild the relationships that have been broken. Amen.
Amen.
And so, but hear me now. Since we talk in scripture, the Bible tells us in Proverbs 3 and 5, in all our getting, get an understanding. Amen. Let's not fly off the handle off emotion. Let's get an understanding. Amen. And so we want to show people how to do it. As born again believers in Christ Jesus, we want to show people how to do it. And destroying our neighborhoods isn't it. Cussing and fussing and fighting each other isn't it. It's not going to get it done. And so we need to come together and reason together that we would be able to rebuild, renew, and be able to have better working relationships with each other. And so we thank you for tuning in this week. We ask that you, if you can, if you will, hug your mama. If you can't hug your mama, FaceTime her and hug her over FaceTime. If she's in heaven, just hug yourself and just know that she's hugging you back. Amen. And so we love you. Happy Mother's Day. We bless God for you and thank God for you.